Hello friends, how are you all? Let us start our topic. Okay. Yesterday we have seen about the elasticity of demand and their types. So now today I will explain you the types of price elasticity of demand. That means when there is a change in price, how it will affect the demand, how much the change will be, and according to that change there are five types of the price elasticity of demand. The very first one is perfectly elastic demand. When a slight or zero change in the price brings about an infinite change in the quantity demanded of that commodity, it is called a perfectly elastic demand. That means if the fall in price is just a 10%, that means if I have the commodity of rupees 20 and if it is reduced by only 10%, that means it is reduced to 18 rupees, then the demand quantity demanded will be infinite. But this is only a theoretical concept because at such practically it is not possible, but still it is at the theoretical concept, so we have to study this. So it should be denoted by ED is equal to infinity, that is percentage change in quantity demanded upon percentage change in price is equal to infinity. And here the demand curve DD is parallel to the x-axis, okay, as shown in the figure. Now the next one is, see, for this question, it is asked in the, I think, choose the correct option, that for the perfectly elastic demand, the demand curve DD is parallel to x-axis, y-axis, and other two options are there. So you should tick the parallel to x-axis. Okay. Now the second one, perfectly inelastic demand where ED is equal to 0. That means when a percentage change in price has no effect on the quantity demanded of a commodity, it is called perfectly inelastic demand. For example, 20% fall in price will have no effect on quantity demanded. That means change in quantity demanded, that is percentage change in Q, is equal to 0, and 0 upon anything is 0, therefore ED is equal to 0. In practice, such a situation rarely occurs. For example, demand for salt and milk. See, for this one, for example, that, see, if the price of the salt right now, if I have to purchase the salt, if the price of the salt is rupees 25 rupees per kg, and if it is reduced to 20 rupees, then also the demand will remain same. कोई ये नहीं सोचेगा चलो सॉल्ट का प्राइस कम हो गया 10-15 किलो सॉल्ट खरीद लो. सिमिलरली विद द मिल्क ऑल्सो, मिल्क का प्राइस अगर कम हो गया तो कोई कोई भी ये नहीं बोलेगा आज 10 लीटर दूध ले लेते हैं क्योंकि आज कम प्राइस पे मिल रहा है. So this is the case of the demand for salt and milk is perfectly inelastic. Similarly, if the price has been increased, हम लोगों को जितना salt चाहिए हम लोग उतना ही खरीदेंगे, ना तो ज़्यादा ना तो कम. Therefore, slight change in price will not affect the demand, and therefore this demand curve DD is parallel to y-axis. See how the question is asked. Again, it can be asked in the choose the correct option, that demand for salt is perfectly inelastic demand. Option has been given perfectly elastic, inelastic, relatively inelastic. You have to choose the correct one, that is perfectly inelastic demand. Okay, I think for the example, because of the example you are getting clear about this. Then the next one, unitary elastic demand. As the name suggests, unitary, that means unit change, or we can say equal change. When a percentage change in price leads to a proportionate change in quantity demanded, then the demand is said to be unitary elastic. That means, for example, here it is given that 50% fall in price of a commodity leads to 50% rise in quantity demanded. That means, see, in the figure it is clearly shown or you can say the change in price is equal to the change in quantity demanded. Therefore, percentage change in Q upon percentage change in P, that is 50 upon 50, that will give us 1, and as the 1, that the name suggests, 1 is known as unitary. Therefore this is the unitary elastic demand, and this curve is a perfectly rectangular hyperbola. Rectangular hyperbola, that means it is the exact change, that whatever the price change is, this is equal to the quantity demanded, change in quantity demanded. Therefore it shows a rectangular hyperbola. Okay. Now the fourth one is relatively elastic demand, that is ED is greater than 1. Now see, when a percentage change in price, see whatever the change in price here, we get the quantity demanded, change in quantity demanded is much more than the change in price. As it is clearly shown in the diagram, if the percentage change in price is 50%, quantity demanded will be more than 50%, or we can say 100%. That means ED is greater than 1. For example, here it is given there is a 50% fall in price leads to 100% rise in quantity demanded, that is percentage change of Q upon percentage change of P, that is 100 upon 50 will gives us 2, which is greater than 1, therefore relatively elastic demand. Again this curve shows a flatter slope. Okay, in the previous demand curve it shows rectangular hyperbola, here it is little bit flatter one. Okay, now the next one is relatively inelastic demand. This is the last type of the price elasticity, that when a percentage change in price leads to less than proportionate change in quantity demanded, then demand is said to be relatively inelastic. Here the example is given, there is a 50% change in price, but there is only a slight change in quantity demanded. And therefore here ED is less than 1. See, the example is given, that is 50% fall in price leads to 25% rise in quantity demanded, that is percentage change of Q upon percentage change of P, that is 25 upon 50, which is 0.5, which is less than 1. I can give you example for this. यहाँ पे अगर हम लोग डायमंड ज्वेलरी के बारे में कंसिडर करें, इफ देर इज अ 50% reduction in the jewelry, diamond jewelry, then the quantity demanded for this jewelry is not that much as the price fall. Okay, so I think all of you are getting clear about the 5 types of the price elasticity of the demand. Now, there are some examples here given. One table is given, that table you can complete. Now, the methods of measuring price elasticity of demand. These methods has been asked for the short note question, that is ratio or percentage method. Ratio method is developed by Professor Marshall. According to this method, elasticity of demand is measured by dividing the percentage change in demand by the percentage change in price. See this, it is given clearly here. Percentage change, that means change in quantity demanded, that is ED is equal to percentage change in Q upon percentage change in P. For illustrating this, they are given one example here, numerical example, that when price is 20, quantity demanded is 10. When price increase to 25, quantity demanded will becomes 9. So how is the change? Change in quantity demanded, that is only change, the change in quantity demanded is only 1 kg and original quantity demanded is 10. And similarly with the price, original price is 20 and the increase in price or change in price is 5. So therefore ED is equal to 1 upon 10 into 20 upon 5, which gives us 0.4, that is ED is less than 1. That means elasticity of demand is relatively inelastic. Okay, I think all of you are getting this. After that, the percentage method, or we can say a total expenditure method. This method was developed by Professor Marshall. In this method, total amount of expenditure before and after the price change is compared. It's very simple. Total expenditure is equal to price into quantity demanded. Okay, in this connection, see what they are given. Marshall has given following propositions. According to the Marshall only we have to go, because this theory is given here. The very first, that when the ED is greater than 1, with a given change in the price of a commodity, total outlay increases, elasticity of demand is greater than 1. Now what is meant by total outlay? Total outlay means total expenditure is equal to price into quantity demanded. The original is this: if ED is greater than 1, then whatever the change is, that is the known as elasticity of demand is greater than 1, and it is known as total outlay. When ED is equal to 1, we already seen that this is the equal amount of the price change is equal to equal amount of the quantity demanded, and therefore it comes to 1. Price falls or rises, total outlay does not change or it remains constant. Total outlay remains constant because ED is equal to 1. So change is not that much affect the quantity demanded or change in price. Or we can say change in price will not that much affect the demand, and therefore ED is equal to 1. Relatively inelastic: when with a given change in price of a commodity, total outlay decreases. Just now I explained you that there is so much change or so much reduction of price, but the quantity demanded is less as compared to change in price, and therefore it is a ED is less than 1, or it is a relatively inelastic demand. Okay. Total outlay method has been explained by this table. See, when the price for commodity A is rupees 10, quantity demanded is 6. In that case, total outlay is 10 multiplied by 6, that is 60. When price will become 20, quantity demanded will become 5. See, but the total outlay increases. जो पहले 60 था अभी 100 हो गया. Why? Because ED is greater than 1. Okay. Now see the exact change. When the price is 30, where ED is equal to 1, the quantity demanded is 4. Price will increase by 10, that is rupees 40, and the quantity demanded will reduced by 1, that is 3, and therefore ED is equal to 1. Total outlay, as you say, 30 into 4 is 120, 40 into 3 is 120. And in the third case, when the quantity demanded is 2 kg at the price of rupees 50, see there is an increase in price of for rupees 10, but the quantity demanded is only 1, where ED is less than 1, and there the total outlay becomes 60. So I think all this is getting clear for you. There are three methods. So I explained you these two methods, and the explanation is given in the paragraph. Just now I explained you all this table. Now we will come to the next, that is point method or geometric method. Professor Marshall has developed another method. See, he has developed 2 or 3 methods for measuring the elasticity of demand, and that will be very much good methods. We can easily calculate this by the formula here given. Point elasticity of demand. Geometric mean method or point method, that means at particular point what is the elasticity. Lower segment of the demand curve below a given point L, and upon upper segment of the demand curve above a given point U. I think it is given on this linear demand curve. See this. Demand curve either a linear or non-linear. Linear, that means straight line. Non-linear, that means curve. Here you can say point wise it is given at when ED is equal to infinity, then P2 ED is greater than 1. At point P, ED is equal to 1. At P1, ED is less than 1. And when ED is equal to 0, it touches the x-axis. Okay, all this is explained in this paragraph, that at point P, that is the center point, the point elasticity is measured as P is equal to PB upon PA. Just now it is explained that lower portion of the curve upon the upper portion of the curve, that is PB upon PA, and 4 upon 4, that is 1. Again at point P1, lower portion P1B upon P1A, always considered x-axis first and then the y-axis. Okay, this is going on, and so that you will get the elasticity of the demand. See, it is 2 upon 6, so it is 0.33, which is less than 1. After that, point P2, it is greater than 1, that is it becomes 3. At point A, which is infinity, upper segment is 0, and therefore the ED is infinity, that is perfectly elastic demand. At point B, point elasticity is 0, that is perfectly inelastic demand. And now the non-linear demand curve. Non-linear demand curve, that means again the same thing, lower segment of the tangent below a given point upon upper segment of the tangent above a given point, that is L upon U. See here also it is given non-linear है इसलिए curve है, so we have to assume that AB is the tangent to this demand curve DD at point E, then EB upon EA. We have to compare that EB upon EA. When these two EB is equal to EA, then ED is equal to 1. If EB is greater than EA, then ED is greater than 1. And EB is less than EA, then ED is less than 1. Okay, I think all of you are getting this. All these are the methods of measuring the elasticity of demand, and today I cover the types of price elasticity of demand. So today I think I am ending this lecture. Tomorrow or in the next lecture I will explain you the next topic, that is factors influencing the elasticity of demand. If you have any doubt, please you put your doubt in your comment section so that I can clear your doubt. Till then, stay home, stay safe, do study well, and please do subscribe and like my channel, and okay, so that you will get the notification. Bye.